Hello, and welcome to Miss French Teaches Something. Today we're going to be talking about comprehension. This video is for teachers and parents, and it's to help us understand how to teach comprehension. By the end of this lesson, you'll know how to find a good book, you'll know about building background knowledge, and you'll walk away with some questioning skills. So, like always, we're going to start off with the rope. Scorborough's rope says that a student needs all of these skills in order to be a good, fluent, skilled reader. And if one of these strands is missing, it's all going to come unraveling. Today, we're going to talk about background knowledge, which is under the language comprehension skills. Before we can do that, we've got to talk about finding the right fit book. When I talk to kids about finding the right fit book, I like to use the acronym PICK, which stands for Purpose, Interest, Comprehension, and Know. Purpose. Why do I want to read this book? Is this just for fun? Is this an entertainment kind of thing? Am I reading this book for a research paper? What do I want to learn from this story? Interest. Do I like this book? Is this a book that's going to keep me entertained, keep me hooked? Comprehension. Do I understand this book? I have no history and knowledge in rocket science. So I might not understand a book about rocket science. I might want to start with a simpler idea like space travel. No. Do I know most of the words? Which leads me to my five-finger rule. I like to have the kids open the book to a random page and start reading. Once they get to the bottom of the page, if they've missed no words or they've missed one word, that book might be a little too easy for them. It's not going to give them enough of a challenge. They're not going to really develop any new skills. If they miss two words or less, we're getting there. It's not going to be as challenging. Three is kind of that sweet spot. It's right in the middle. They're going to have enough of a challenge that they are um, learning a new decoding skill without really taking away from understanding the topic. If they miss four or five words, we need to put that book away and pick a different book because they're not there yet. They're going to spend all of their time sounding out words, decoding words, figuring out what the words are saying versus understanding the idea of the story. They miss out on the comprehension because they're trying to read the words. Now, background knowledge. Background knowledge is the first strand of Scarborough's rope. And when we talk about background knowledge, a word that is used a lot is schema. Schema is what you already know about a topic. And we can build on a child's schema by connecting the story that they're reading to the world around them, to other texts or movies or TV shows, and to themselves. And this helps them make meaning of more challenging concepts. When we go into questioning uh, students about stories, it's important that you read the book ahead of time and prep what questions you might want to ask. I like to put a little sticky note in the book where I'm going to ask a question. Teachers, you can get these ideas for questions on the standards that they're learning. For example, are we learning about characters and settings? Or are we learning about main ideas? Um, I also like to think as I read, what might my students have trouble understanding? And what can I do to build on this schema? What can I do to connect the text to something meaningful in their life? Or what can I bring into the classroom to help them understand a concept better? For example, I'm a Florida girl. I don't have a lot of experience with snowy weather. So if I'm reading a text about the snow or that takes place in a snowy area, I don't have experience with snow. So I might need my teacher to um, connect that idea of snow to something here in Florida that I might know. Now, when we do question, it's important that we use a wide range of questions. And this is where Bloom's taxonomy comes in. The broadest version of questioning is that bottom base there, the remembering, the recalling the facts, who were the characters, what was the setting. Those are the right there questions. They can open the book and point. That's the answer. Then it goes into the finer points, which is understanding, where they explain ideas from the story. They apply the information that they learned in the book to their life. They analyze and connect ideas to new ideas. They evaluate. They say, you know, I didn't agree with the character because, or I think they could have done something better here. Here's what they could have done to create where they create something new from their ideas. Going more deeper into that, this page shows some possible question stems. So, starting with the basics, can you describe the characters for me? Can you identify the characters? Uh, can you tell me where the characters were? Going into understanding, summarize the story for me. Um, you know, how does this story how do these characters compare to each other? How are they different? How are they alike? To applying, how can we use what we learned in this story in our real life? To analyzing, can we compare and contrast this or relate it to a movie or a TV show or another book that we've read? To evaluating, um, I noticed that the character did this in the story. Is there something they could have done better? Why do you think that? Do you disagree with them? Do you agree with them? Tell me why. Use text evidence, prove it. What happened in the story? And then my personal favorite is the top tier, the peak. It is creating at the end of the story when it is the last day with that book. I love to throw in a creative piece. Let's act out the story. Let's act out a new ending. I didn't like how the story ended and neither did you. How could we end it differently? Let's rewrite it. Um, hey, they had an issue here. What can we invent to solve that issue? Uh how could we design a new way to solve their problem? And that create is always a really fun thing to do in the classroom, or even at home. So these are a lot of possible question stems, a lot of ideas that you can bring into the classroom or even at home, to help your students really connect to that text. So that was the very basic gist of comprehension, starting off with the background knowledge and the questioning skills. Um, I've only just barely scratched the surface of it all. So, next time I am going to switch gears a little bit, and I'm going to talk about something near and dear to my heart, and that is a program called CHAMPS. CHAMPS is a classroom management program that I have been trained in. It is a program that I have spoken about at conferences, and I'm really excited to bring it into my YouTube channel and introduce it to you. So that will be our next video. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, night, afternoon, and I hope to see you next time.